Hello everybody and welcome to the Lovebird Lane vlog. I am Julianne and I just got a text message. I am your host and welcome if you are new here. I have had quite a few new subscribers lately, so welcome to this place. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. I am a little bit out of practice at this, which hopefully won't affect this too much. I think August or July even might have been my last episode of the vlog. So here we are in the new house. It is still an absolute pigsty. I'm to the point where it's now stifling me. I don't know if that's the right way to describe it. It's making me paralyzed by how much needs to be done around here, when all the things that need to be done around here obviously need activity, not paralysis. So I decided I really want to get back into filming and talking with you guys and getting new videos out there. I have been working on my slow living channel, finally getting some videos that have been recorded ages ago edited and up on that channel. So if you haven't checked that out, the link will be down in the description. I have also started today to do Vlogtober. I keep wanting to say Vlogmas, but it's Vlogtober because it's October, it's not December yet. And yeah, I was reminded of Vlogtober by watching, I'm subscribed to a Homespun House on YouTube, and Molly has started doing their Vlogtober videos, and I remembered, oh, that's a thing. So today I have been vlogging, as well as I will be recording this video and also a bonus video for my patrons. The link to my Patreon is also down in the description. It's only a couple of bucks a month, so if you'd like to throw something into the tip jar every month, I really would appreciate it. It goes a long way. Actually, my Patreon supporters actually helped me buy the camera that I'm recording this on, because my old vlogging camera, the lens had some issues and it finally got to the point where it just wouldn't start at all. So I was able to buy a newer version of that camera. I've got the Mark II G7X now instead of, like, I had the original Mark I. So I'm thrilled with my new camera. I did look for a refurb, but I couldn't actually purchase the one that I wanted. For some reason their checkout wasn't working and I didn't have time to mess around, so I did buy a brand new camera, but it should last me a good long while, and I was pleased that it came with the warranty and everything as well. So if I do have any more issues with my lenses, the lens getting stuck, I should be able to just take it for warranty repair. So yeah, I've got my light on today. It's very dark. It's been raining on and off all morning. Granger and I managed to get a walk in today. He didn't get one yesterday because I wasn't feeling well. And yeah, today it's not too bad. I'm looking out the front window now and I see a little bit of blue sky, but there's a lot of cloud. So I do have my ring light going. It's made the background rather shadowy. But yes, what else can I update you all on? My hair is getting longer. I need to probably get it trimmed at the back again, because I am obviously growing it out, as most of you know. But yeah, I keep getting this, it seems to be growing longer just down here at the back, and starts making me look like I've got a bit of a mullet. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I'm almost at the point where I'm going to go to the hairdresser and say, just give me an undercut at the back so that the top can grow out and the back doesn't keep getting too long. So that's probably where I'm at with that. But yes, we're all in. We're all mostly settled, apart from the absolute trash heap that is our house. Granger is gradually getting there. You probably might be able to hear him on the on the vlog, because he is actually snoring right behind the camera. Previously his bed was in our bedroom at my housemate's house, and so he could disappear from us when we were watching TV or I was recording this vlog. But now his bedroom is in the lounge room in front of our TV, which is against the wall just to my sort of slight right. So yeah, he is there now. He doesn't like my podcasts playing during the day. He usually gets up and goes and hides in the kitchen. which is a bit sad because he's an old dog and the kitchen's quite cold the last couple of days because it has been quite dark, cool weather here in Adelaide. Today it felt almost like winter. I was blowing steam as I said goodbye to Simon at the door. But yeah, he is mostly with us now. He's sound asleep now. He doesn't seem to have any problem with me talking. He just doesn't like the sound of other people talking. I don't know whether it's because he thinks that there's people he can't see or anything like that, maybe. But yeah, I guess I can't really think of much else that I can talk about just at this point in time. Something will probably come up, as it usually does, halfway through the vlog, as I like to go on my tangents. But yeah, I guess for now we can start talking about what I'm working on. And it's not a lot because I went through a period there when I was decorating the house, doing all the painting and all of that hard work, because I had to do a lot of filling, a lot of sanding, painting, all of that kind of stuff. So I was just too tired to even think about doing anything. And then once we'd moved, I think it took a good couple weeks before I could start even thinking about wanting to cast anything on or do any knitting. I do have another project that has been on the needles that I have worked on since we've moved, but it is a gift and I'm unsure if that person watches this vlog. I know they are aware of the vlog, but yeah, I just don't want them to see it before they actually get it. So I will not be talking about that until it is finished and gifted. But yeah, I guess let's just get on with what I have finished, because I do have a finished item that I have done since I moved, so we'll talk about that one first. Alright, so my first thing my only finished object that I want to talk about is a pair of socks, because that was about all I had the mental capacity for when I decided I wanted to start knitting again. And instead of finishing a pair of socks I had on the needles, which were my Spinifex socks, which I actually haven't finished yet. They were part of the Handmade Sock Society, which I never completed. I got up to, I think that's the 4th pattern? Yes, no. 3rd or 4th pattern one out of the 6, and that was where I stopped. I didn't continue on with that and I never finished that pair of socks. And I'm literally on the cuff of the 2nd sock. I just need to obviously knit that, and or maybe I think I've got maybe one repeat of the pattern left, so those are not done. However, I did just cast on some vanilla socks. So this I knit from my prototype of one of my Water Caves colorways. So that was a what do you call it, a club that I had back in, I think it was April, May and June, I believe, were the 3 months that I had for the club. And my other work in progress, or one of my work in progresses that I'm going to talk about, also is a club colorway. So this, I cannot remember the name of the cave. Maybe I'll pop it down in the doobly-doo and you might be able to see that as I'm talking, but it is this kind of grey with lots of blue. There's little bits of green and bits of purple in there as well. If I remember rightly, the cave was made of basalt columns that had created themselves in like hexagon shapes. It was really, really cool. And it was very grey, very blue picture, you know, my inspiration picture. So it took me a really long time to actually get this colorway right, because it kept coming out far too blue, like it was coming out more of like a navy blue. I really did want it to have that grey base with the touch of the blue. And those other little speckles in there. So I hand wound my ball because I hadn't yet got out my Swift or my ball winder. So I hand wound my ball, and yeah, I cast on socks. And if you have followed me for a while, there is something strange about these socks. I did not use the Fish Lips Kiss heel. I did a heel flap and gusset, because I think I've mentioned on here before, my Fish Lips Kiss heel socks have not been fitting me properly, and that is nothing to do with the heel itself. I believe what it is that I have not been giving myself enough length in the foot. By however However it's worked out, I haven't given myself enough length in the foot because I'm assuming the Fish Lips Kiss heel is a little bit more shallow in the heel section. So, and I haven't been compensating for that with the foot. So just, I've been doing heel flaps in my socks for the Handmade Sock Society. So I've kind of gotten back into the swing of doing heel flaps. And I do find that they fit me really well because often with the Fish Lips Kiss heel, it's a little bit tight sort of across the instep of my foot, whereas with the heel flap I feel like it gives me the right amount of depth for my instep, and I'm not like struggling and pulling my socks really hard to get them over my heel. So for now I've gone back to the heel flap, and I've done that on my other work in progress sock that I have here as well. So I've just done a basic slip stitch heel. I can't think of what the Eye of Partridge I think is the one that's got the offset slips, but these are just a regular slip stitch heel. So that is my only FO for the moment, is this pair of socks. And I even dug out my sock blockers so that I could photograph them and talk about them on the vlog, because a lot of my craft room stuff is still in boxes and I don't have any space to unpack it because we've got all of our other belongings in boxes. So besides the fact that we've discovered we have far too much furniture. Certainly too much furniture for this home anyway. So that's something that we need to work on. But for now, I will get back to the knitting. The eagle-eyed among you probably too have noticed that I am wearing my No Frills cardigan. I have barely had this off my body through the whole moving process. It probably really needs a wash, which it hasn't had as yet. It hasn't even had a block since being washed. It literally got knit off the needles on my body and has pretty much stayed there. It is my go-to cardigan every day. You can probably see it's a very pilly, and the fact that it is mohair, I don't know whether I should be using my de-pillar on it, like, you know, the little like electric thing that takes pills off regular knitting. So I do have a lot of pills on this cardigan. I'm just worried that if I use the de-pillar it's gonna eat all the fluffiness of the mohair off. So if you have any tips on that, please do let me know down in the comments. Do I just need to hand pick every pill off my cardigan, or is there another way that I can figure that out? But yes, I am loving my No Frills cardigan, and I am knitting something else with mohair as well at the moment, but I will talk about the boring thing, which is the socks, as I usually do. So I will tell you about my socks now. So these are a pair of socks that I probably have shown on the vlog a long time ago, and the thing is I ripped out an entire sock and I've re-knit it with a heel flap. And so this sock looks a little bit bumpy. I can show it to you. It's probably going to blow out because it's very kind of fluoro green. Let's see if we can get it to focus on the sock and not on me. I hope that's in focus. I can't quite tell because it does look a little blown out. But yeah, these are my Minty Socks because that is the colorway, my colorway that I have created. I just called it Minty. And yeah, I had knit a whole sock. I had finished the whole sock, but because, like I said, I was having issues with the length of my foot. Marion is just behind me there, so if you hear her tweeting, that's where she's from. Like I said, it's too grey for her to go outside today. So yeah, I had knit these initially on my 2.25mm needles, which were the needle size that I had started using, and I think also because of the needle size I needed to adjust the length, and I didn't. I just went with the rounds that I would normally knit. Of course, being 2.25mm needles, they were smaller stitches, so the socks didn't fit. But yeah, so I've re-knit these on 2.5mm needles, which is what I knit those other socks on as well, which is what I've always historically knit my socks on, but because they tended to stretch out a little, I thought if I used a smaller needle that I would get a better fabric and they wouldn't stretch out as bad. But then I found that using the smaller needles with the Fish Lips Kiss heel, I actually made my socks too small. Long story short. So I have basically knit this knit this sock as I frogged the old one. So I basically frogged the old one from the toe because they're cuff down knit socks, and yeah, just basically knit it from the already knit yarn, so it's a little bit bumpy. The texture's not quite as flat and nice as it could be. So I've got this much left to finish the toe of the sock, and I think I'm nearly there. Actually, it was 58 down from where I finished my decreases, so I'm nearly finished. So hopefully I will have enough here to finish the toe. But that is one of my whips that I'm working on, because although I haven't picked this up for a few days because I've been obsessed with the one I'm about to tell you about. So okay, so my second work in progress and the last thing I'm going to talk about in this vlog is a cardigan, and this is a cardigan that I've wanted to cast on for quite a while. If you have followed me for a while, you would probably remember the what was it called? Freewheeler sweater that I knit. It's a pattern by Skein Yarn, Kristen Finley of Skein Yarn. I will put a correction in the doobly-doo if I'm wrong about that. I'm pretty sure it was called the Freewheeler sweater. And this is her cruiser sweater. So this was the, it's kind of like a sister pattern to the Freewheeler. It's very similar shape, the bat wing shape and the garter stitch elements. This one, the Freewheeler was garter stitch at the like on the bust area and then stockinette on the rest, whereas this is garter stitch throughout. So I cast this on last week, I think. I don't think it was that long ago, and yeah, I have finished the neckline. So you basically knit this in 3 pieces, and that was a little bit much for how I'm feeling at the moment, because I have been suffering a little bit of depression as well, just the last few weeks. So initially I thought it was a little bit much for me, but I went ahead and I did it, and I have had a couple of little days away from it, just because I knew the next step was going to be a bit much for me. So I've kind of been taking this sort of fast, sort of slow. It's really weird. When I'm knitting on it, it's going really fast, but when I hit a section where I'm a little bit like, oh, I don't have the energy for that right now, it gets put away for a day. But yeah, basically that entailed you knit the back, the top of the back piece, then you knit the top of both front pieces, and you do that by picking up. So there's no seams. You pick up across the neckline, leaving a gap obviously for the back of the neck. So, and then the neckline comes around. It's kind of quite a circular kind of neckline. It's sort of like that, if you can see that, and then that will have a collar picked up and knit on it. So I'm currently at the section where I am decreasing for the body of the cardigan. So the sleeves got done. This did have a bit of seaming. There was some Kitchener stitch underneath the sleeve just to get that tube created, and then now I am on the decreases for the body. And yeah, once that is done, I don't know what I need to do, because I'm just going ahead doing my decreases now. I think I'm only about halfway through them, so I've just been knitting away. And this is from my Water Caves Club, as I mentioned. This is the Mewstone Cave colorway, and I remember that because I am working with it, so I made sure to look up. And I have not bothered to alternate skeins here. I feel like it's actually looking pretty good. I think maybe these last little sections look a little bit different, but that's also because I'm doing longer kind of rows, I guess, at the moment. So it's gone from having back and forth across the back, back and forth across each front, and now I'm doing all of it at once. So I guess the amount of yarn per row has changed a lot, so it looks a little bit different. To the eye, while I'm sitting here, I really can't see any difference, so that's what the main thing is, I guess. The camera seems to pick up more than what you see in real life for like pooling and things like that, which I don't think there is any pooling. It was dyed in much the same technique as my socks. So I personally don't like flashing and pooling in my my yarns, so I don't purchase certain dyers yarns because I know that they will flash and pool. I prefer more of that kind of spread out kind of look. It just looks a little bit more dispersed, the colours, instead of having them stack. So yeah, this was dyed in the same way that those socks were, so it should work out pretty well. It looks like there's a little bit in there somewhere, but mostly I'm happy with the way that this is turning out. So yeah, I'm just cracking away on this every chance I get. I spend most evenings when the dog isn't wanting attention and the bird isn't wanting attention working on this, and sometimes in the mornings I've been reading my book in the morning and knitting on this. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm looking forward to wearing it, but I'm worried that the weather's going to suddenly take a turn and it's going to be too warm for me to wear this before winter comes around next year, but we'll see how we go. I'll just keep working on it, and yeah, and we'll see how we go, and maybe I'll get a chance. And as for dogs and birds needing attention, the funniest thing has happened since we've moved, because Marion used to be out in the sunroom at my housemate's house, and which means that pretty much from the point that we'd finished cleaning up after dinner, she was put to sleep, and we went to the front of the house. We covered her all up, let her go to sleep. We went out the front of the house to watch TV, whatever we wanted to do, whereas now here she lives in what is technically the dining room under the stairs. So you can see the stairs are just behind me here, and then this is we've got a big mirrored wall which you possibly can see some reflections, I'm not too sure. So yeah, she's just here behind me. We still have her partially covered at the back, if you see the purple, because she has discovered the mirror, and I've heard that lovebirds are notoriously narcissistic, so we did find the first night we brought her in and put her against that mirror, she started kissing at herself and talking to herself and sitting up against that back wall of her cage, and yeah, just basically obsessed with her reflection. So we've put that up there now just so that she's not focusing on that the whole time that she's there. But yeah, she's created this new routine for me where we get to probably 8:30 or so at night, and she'll get down to the bottom perch in her cage, and she will like flutter above it and make lots of noise with her wings and start squawking at us. And then she jumps up to she's got like a little, it was something that came with one of the treats that I bought her once. It's like a little clip-on dish for the side of the cage that you put like a little disc of like a seed treat thing in. And we know she wants to come out and have cuddles when she gets up on that, because that's where she hops off that little tray onto our hand to come for cuddles. And so she's made a habit of it every night now. We have a routine that we get to 8:30 or so, she does her little dance, flutters up and down, makes a lot of noise, jumps up onto that green disc and comes out, and then she and I have little cuddles, and she sits on me for about 20 minutes or so. And we have cuddles, and it's so funny. And then like once she's done, off she goes, she flutters back to the cage, and then it's bedtime. So yeah, she's forced this little routine onto us. Not that I'm complaining, because she's pretty cute. I took some footage actually the other day. I'll see if I can pop it in here and you guys can see it. I had her on my lap and I had my cardigan, and she suddenly was interested in the cable. Yeah, you were, weren't you? I know, cheesy Pete. Yeah, she was really interested in the cable, so she started nibbling on it, and then I started playing with her with it. It was pretty cute, so hopefully you've seen that there over the top of me. So yeah, we've kind of got Marion into a routine. It's just getting Granger into things. He's still, I don't think he really cares for being in the same room as us now. I think he's gotten used to being able to go to a dark, quiet room in the evenings just to go to sleep, because he's very much been a grumpy old man since we've moved in here. Well, I mean, he's always been a grumpy old man, but I think it's just that we see it more because he's in the same room as us in the evenings now. And it's very much like get off my lawn kind of thing at us because we're making noise, but you know, what are you gonna do? I like to remind him that he's here at my grace, not that, you know, he doesn't rule the roost. We allow him to be here, so not that we would have it any other way, but yeah, just I like to tease him a little bit, even though he probably doesn't even understand what I'm saying. But yeah, I think maybe I'll leave it there. I'm gonna just start rambling. I've got some, I want to keep some stories for my patrons in their new video. As I said, if you do want to check those out, there's a few videos on there. Head down to the description, you'll find the Patreon link there. And show notes, all of that also will be down in the description. I'll have links to all of my projects. But yeah, I think that's it. And also I've got links to my plant channel, which has been very quiet for a very long time, and my slow living channel, both down in the description as well, if you'd like to check it out. All that leaves now is for me to say thank you so much for watching. Happy knitting, happy crafting, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.